Welcome back to the Morgantown studio for the Charleston Daily Mail. Today is Friday, March 15, the third day of spring practice at West Virginia. My second visit to the football field. I missed Tuesday because of the Big 12 tournament. Back today, fortunately, because yesterday's practice was postponed. The first thing I noticed, not a lot of bodies in red and green today. In red, just two. I think we had four on Sunday, the first practice, and in red were receiver Dante Campbell, cornerback Terrell Chestnut, and we knew they were going to miss the spring. In green, some names you might mention, but probably not too serious. Linebackers Doug Rigg and Juwan Snow, and cornerback Avery Williams. Will it change? Will you have more? Probably. The reason I say that today, the first day in pads, which means hitting and popping, not really taking anybody to the ground, but contact for the first time. And that means you see some drills you haven't seen yet. What we saw, some live special teams and some live offense versus defensive stuff, all kind of enlightening for different reasons. Special teams, we always get to see that, but here, Josh Lambert, who again made all three of the field goals we saw, he really got the ball in the air on kickoffs. They don't want him putting the ball through the end zone here in these drills because they want to set up returns, but you can tell he can get some height under it, and that's important. Returning kicks, again, no Tavon Austin, no Stedman Braley this year. Who will it be? Some usual suspects, names you probably would expect. Namely Jordan Thompson, Andrew Bowie, guys that we saw returning punts on Sunday. Some other guys, though, Broderick Jenkins, Avery Williams, who again wore green but participated, so he probably wasn't too injured, and Vernon Davis, all three cornerbacks, and Wendell Smallwood, a freshman running back. The last two names are pretty interesting because in Smallwood's case, one, he just got here and he apparently has enough of a reputation to be put back in kickoff return drills, and you also don't see running backs returning kickoffs too often. And Vernon Davis, we've heard a lot about him, we have not seen much. A transfer from Miami. Apparently a pretty capable cornerback, has some skill, but he is a quick twitch guy who can get outside. Looks like he probably knows what to do with the ball in his hands. Again, hit one outside, probably knows what to do when he gets to the rail, but they kind of rein that drill in a little bit for obvious reasons. Offense, defense stuff, what I paid attention to was a drill with pass rushers coming from the outside, trying to get into the pocket and work around the running backs to hit a dummy who basically is marauding as the quarterback. Reason to pay note to this, West Virginia really lacks the Ryan Clark or even the Sean Austin, the blocking back or the running back with some size who can deflect some pass rushers. You want to keep that pocket clean, especially with the concern of experience of quarterback this year. And what West Virginia has are two tight end types in Cody Clay and Will Johnson, and a walk-on named Nate Majnarek, who did pretty well today, to be fair to him. That'll change. Obviously, Elijah Wellman, the freshman from Southern West Virginia, he'll probably get a chance to at least get involved when he gets here over the summer. The pass rushers, a couple did a pretty good job. Linebacker Garrett Hope, who plays special teams and it was really noticeable last year as a freshman. He looks like he's a big kid who can get low and get around guys. And Dozie Uzima, that's a name I'm sure you've heard before. He had a couple sacks last year, but he seems like he is right where you figured he would be. A guy who got an opportunity last year and is building it and doing something. He always does the right thing, is the reputation for him. And that's good news because he's one of those people, because he's entering his senior year, he would be a candidate for a scholarship should he earn one, because they only have to give it to him for 1 year. They're not locked into it for multiple years. By the way, that's an interesting drill to watch because they don't have those outside linebackers. Josh Francis, Terrence Garvin, people who were the pass rushers last year, they're going to miss that. So right now, that was kind of fun to watch, to see who they're at least considering, and then also who's going to block those guys on the other side. Don't really know right now. Probably the highlight, though, the end of practice, a receiver drill for screens. Obviously, throwing the ball, blocking it, and then getting that quick pass that you've seen West Virginia throw and catch and run so often into the end zone. But that also puts a burden on the cornerbacks and safeties. It didn't really go well for anybody. Some drop passes, some missed blocks, some bad tackles, some, shaky, as you might expect, offense and defense this early in practice. But Jordan Thompson looked pretty good. He found the end zone a bunch. KJ Myers, a name that we're mentioning again, second time in two of these little video blogs we've mentioned his name. He got in the end zone before. Darwin Cook got a really big hit. He blew off a play. And Dana Holgerson was down there really involved, critical of both sides. Again, these coaches are locked in, really taking this seriously, as you might expect right now, as you might hope right now. But, you're kind of entering the second stage now of practice, and you got the pads on, you're hitting. Today was what we saw detailed, again, from the very beginning. Promising because you're kind of getting an idea of who's going to be there, and it's who you probably would have expected in a lot of these spots. So what they have is a chance to begin here and keep moving up. You'll see how it shifts and rotates in the next couple of days, but maybe the second or third day in pads you have a better idea. But for the first day, you get out of it what you can, and what we got were some names and some whacks of the pads.